Today we're talking about those 3 sneaky thoughts that are most likely stopping you from starting something new right now. Not because you're lazy, just because your brain is doing what it's meant to do and protecting you from uncertainty. And those thoughts may sound very reasonable, even smart, but actually what they're doing is they're low-key paralyzing you. So here are the 3 big mindset blocks that I had to call out in myself as well, and maybe you can relate. The first block is the now infamous, I need to be 100% sure or 100% confident before I start. And this thought is sneaky because it does sound like the most reasonable thing to do. Starting when you're actually ready, do that thing when you're sure that you're not going to mess up. But then again, that version that you're waiting for, that version of you that's 100% sure and 100% confident does not exist. And I have to remind myself of that quite a lot. Actually, even recently I was talking to my dance teacher and I fell into that trap again of thinking like, oh, where she is now, surely she's like fully confident or she just got it. And I think she mentioned that sometimes she doesn't feel like fully confident. And I was still surprised. Me talking about this all the time, I was like, oh, you were not? But you're like a professional dancer. Yeah, so what? That you will never be 100% confident, even when you're like so much more advanced than you're now. So it's not confidence that's going to lead you to take that bold move or just being bold. It's being bold that will create confidence over time. And now I'm just talking about the theory, of course, but you need to find that one thing that works for you. For me, it's putting myself out there because I know myself and I know that once I put myself out there, I can't backtrack anymore. So see, I don't feel confident doing that YouTube channel. I'm going to put my videos out there because it's out there for the world to see. If I look silly, well, now there's no other option than getting better. And I do that for everything on my social media. Every time that I am at my silliest looking, when I started dancing, you cannot even imagine what it looked like. And I was like, I'm going to put that out there because I'm going to look ridiculous, but now there's no backtracking anymore. People have seen you at your worst, so it can only get better from there. That's my way of doing things, but something else might work for you. The only thing is you need to find it. You need to find what works for you. But basically, when you listen to that version of yourself that's telling you, no, I need to wait until I'm 100% confident, you're actually trusting that version of you that hasn't even started yet. And that's not the person you should be trusting. You should trust that future version of yourself that gives you that gut feeling that you should be doing it, because that version knows better. The second block that you may have is this, I don't trust myself to follow through. So what's the point? This one, I'm talking specifically to multi-passionate people, multi-potentialites, people that are interested in so many things adding up over time, because we're being told way too often, you're too much. You change your mind too often. You're not reliable. You never finish what you start. And so eventually you believe it and you start thinking, well, what's even the point of starting something new if I'm going to quit later anyway? You don't have to finish everything that you start. Some things are not meant to be lifelong passions. Some things are just chapters in your life. And you're actually blessed to be that curious that you want to try different things. And also you can only find what you're willing to stick with by doing it, not by overthinking it. It's okay to not stick with things even when you're okay at it, even if you're good at it. So yeah, maybe you won't stick with it, but that's actually not a problem. All it means is that you're human. You have seasons. And that's what makes you alive. And the third and last block is my context is not good enough. I don't have the right tools to start. The setup is not ideal. The class is too expensive. And those reasons might be very true. They're just not a good reason to wait. Resourcefulness beats resources every time. Another example, when I first started surfing and I wanted to have my own board and carry it everywhere, but didn't have a lot of budget, I only had a scooter and I didn't have a surf rack. I asked my housemate at the time to help me put some sort of shelf holders on my scooter that were like super unflexible and quite dangerous, to be honest. But it allowed me to carry my board with me everywhere without the budget of, paying for a surf rack. And the irony is that even if you do wait for the perfect setup to start something new, well, you're still going to suck at it when you begin, because that's just how beginnings work. You're always going to suck as a beginner. And so you're going to end up being disappointed twice as much, because as you wait for the conditions to be perfect, you're just building up this thing in your mind that, oh, it's going to be all perfect when I start. And then actually it's still not, because you're still a beginner. And that discrepancy between the image that you pictured in your mind and the reality of it is what makes a lot of people give up in the early days. So all around, it's just better to start very scrappy and just slowly build your way up. Very quick recap. First block, you don't need to be confident to start. It's by beginning that you're going to build up confidence. Second block, you don't need to stick with everything you're doing. It's by doing things that you're going to figure out the things that matter most. Third block, you don't need perfect conditions. What you need is momentum. If you focus on those 3 very simple things, I guarantee you that you're going to start moving forward and see some progress pretty fast. Now it's time for some real introspection.